Welcome back here to The Hill on NewsNation. Today, a 14-year-old is being charged with 4 counts of felony murder for allegedly killing 2 of his schoolmates and 2 teachers at Appalachia High School in Winder, Georgia. It is among the most heartbreaking of scenes this country deals with all too routinely. Children, educators, going to school, not everyone coming home to their families. Right now, as you know, we are in the middle of a presidential race. The question of how to stop this madness, how to try to stop this uniquely American problem evokes emotional debate, as it should. After all, we are talking about children, kids, all ages, elementary school, middle school, high school. Tonight, we want to take a look into where both presidential candidates stand on how they believe the issue of school violence and school shootings could hopefully one day be solved. We're looking at what they've said and what they have proposed. Let's start with Vice President Harris. She supports more states passing red flag laws, which are civil measures allowing family members and law enforcement to request a court order to temporarily remove firearms from someone who may be a danger to themselves or others. She also supports, as you can see here, more federal funding to make that happen. Now, the Biden-Harris administration launched what is called the National Extreme Risk Protection Order Resource Centers, which supports red flag laws. Vice President Harris currently oversees the White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention. And as a candidate, during her first run in 2019, she talked about removing police officers from schools. Here she was, for example, in 2019, when asked about reforming the criminal justice system.
What we need to do about demilitarizing our schools and taking police officers out of schools. We need to deal with the reality and speak the truth about the inequities around school discipline.
We have asked the Harris campaign if she still stands by that position. As of this evening, we have not yet heard back. Now, we do know that 2 school resource officers who received extensive training are being hailed as heroes for confronting the shooter in Georgia. According to local reports, they have more than 2,000 hours of training combined. Now, as for Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, he too has called for red flag laws. As president, he called for, quote unquote, hardening schools. On his campaign website right now, Trump, for example, says he would allow trained teachers to carry concealed weapons. He also supports using federal funding to hire veterans and retired police officers as armed school guards. Trump also says he would overhaul federal standards on disciplining minors, which he says would lead to safer classrooms. Now, as president, Trump made it known he was against the idea of gun-free schools.
It's time to make our schools a much harder target for attackers. We don't want them in our schools.
So that's where the 2 candidates stand. Will this be solved overnight? No. We know how this has played out here in Washington, from Columbine to Sandy Hook, now to Appalachia. But we also know there's probably many of you right now who are rightfully thinking about Georgia and thinking about your kids, their school, their future. Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.